Good evening and welcome. This time I'll call our call meeting to order, and I will turn the floor over to Dr. Gladwell.
Thank you, Mr. Galloway. I'd like to say good afternoon, board, and I'd like to say good afternoon to everybody who is present here in the Performing Arts Center with us, as well as those folks who are watching us online on Rebel TV. Good afternoon to all of you as well. Thank you for attending our call Board of Education meeting this afternoon at 4 p.m. And we have 3 items on today's call agenda, and the first is to approve a bid for the CTA HVAC project at Fannin County High School. So with that, we're going to invite Mr. Danner to the podium, and he can tell us about this. Hello, Mr. Danner.
Hello, Dr. Gladwell. Good afternoon, board. This goes back to back in February. We were asked for approval to submit an application to use COPS money, which is state money for the capital outlay project. Then I come back and then we sent out for bids. Mr. Inslee, if you will do that one, yes, that one there. So this is back in, nope, that's actual, we did have a bid opening. Everything went out to bid through on the procurement registry and also our website. Our bid opening was March last Thursday, which would be the 18th. And we had one bid come in, and it was Monday's Heating and Air for the base amount, as you can see there, $233,815, and then an alternate of $7,877. Mr. Inslee, back to the memo. So the total of that is, there you go, $241,692. If it's approved today, again, that will be used for SPLOST money and also our COPS money that we have from the state. And how that works is we pay for it up front, then we get reimbursed from the state once all the paperwork and everything is complete.
Okay. Board, do you have any questions for Mr. Banner on this item?
What is the alternate?
Alternate, they, once the engineers got involved, they had to change a couple things that wasn't on the original drawing, so they had to make a modification to it, and that's what those alternates are. That one alternate did not have any cost involved, but that second alternate did have a cost involved.
Any other questions?
Is there a warranty?
Yes, sir. It's our standard warranty that we have, and this is the same contractor, Monday's Heating and Air, that done our old gym HVAC. They are out of Murphy, North Carolina. We've used them multiple times, but they're actually the only one that put a bid in for this one. And I questioned that from the architect, and they said because it's a smaller job and a time frame, he said that's probably why you don't have bigger companies coming in on this.
Any other
As
questions?
far as the COPS, is it a 80% reimbursement?
80% reimbursement, and we're eligible for $112,017. And again, this is my first COP application, so that's what we're eligible for, so we should be able to get all of that reimbursed back to us.
Okay, any other? Okay, Mr. Chair, I make the recommendation to approve this bid as presented.
Can the chair have that motion?
So moved. Second.
Is there any more discussion? All in favor?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Danner. Okay, our next item is to approve purchase of technology hardware, and Ms. Finley's unable to be with us, but Mr. Mathis is here, and so let's go ahead and open this up, and Mr. Mathis, tell us a little bit about this.
Good afternoon, board. I hope you're all doing well. This is to buy 172 Apple iPads and 10 Apple Pencils, and these are going to all 5 of our schools. They will replace iPads that are obsolete and we can no longer update them. And the 10 pencils will go to the high school, to the art program, and the amount is $51,468. And its current FY21 SPLOST funds, budgeted SPLOST funds, will be used to make this purchase.
Thank you, Mr. Mathis. Board, do you have any questions for Mr. Mathis about this technology purchase?
What is a pencil? What is an Apple Pencil?
An Apple Pencil allows you, for the art class, it allows them to be able to draw on the iPad just like you would on a piece of paper. It's really neat. They have 10 already, Mr. Deweese, and they wanted 10 more. They're really using them. Miss Vaccaro, our art teacher at the high school, so.
Any other questions for Mr. Mathis? Okay, Mr. Chair, I recommend this technology purchase as presented.
To the chair, I have that motion.
So moved.
I'll second. Any more discussion? Any, all in favor?
Thank you.
Great job, Mr. Mathis, thank you. All right, let's move on to item number 3, and I'll defer to the chair whether there's a need for executive session.
Mr. Cole?
Good.
Ms. Reed?
Good.
We're good, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Give you a moment to open up the personnel sheet dated 3/22/21. Okay, we'll go with resignations first, and we're going to take 3 of these together because they all have the same effective date of May 26, 2021. 3 resignations: Buffy B. Chapman, Nicholas Miller, and Wendy Reynolds. Make those recommendations, Mr. Chair.
The chair, I have that motion.
So moved.
You have a second?
All in favor?
Okay, the next resignation, recommendation for resignation is Teresa Brown, effective date 5/31/21. Make that recommendation, Mr. Chair.
Chair, I have that motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Okay, thank you. Next, we have recommendations, and pending completion of paperwork, background check, and certification, Gina Jones for school nurse. I make that recommendation, Mr. Chair.
The chair, I have that motion.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All in favor?
Okay, thank you. The next recommendation, again pending completion of paperwork, background check, and certification, Ashley Phillips, paraprofessional. Make that recommendation, Mr. Chair.
Chair, I have that motion. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, thank you. And the final recommendation this afternoon is for Mark Young as an administrator. I make that recommendation, Mr. Chair.
The chair, I have that motion.
You have that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Okay, and that concludes the personnel sheet, Mr. Chair.
The chair entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
And Mr. Chair, may I make a comment now that we're adjourned?
Sure.
Okay, I would just like to thank the Fannin County Middle School governance team, the Fannin County Middle School SGT for their work today with the selection of Mr. Young as the next principal of Fannin County Middle School.